Growing up in Littleton, Colorado, Dave Grusin started his life as a cowboy and thought he might end up as a veterinarian. Inspired by his father, Henry, who played violin, he changed his mind at the last minute and enrolled in music at the University of Colorado in Boulder. Upon graduating, he left to pursue higher music education in New York City. However, a serendipitous connection led Dave to audition for Andy Williams. They hit it off, and their partnership soon led Dave to his first job as music director for The Andy Williams Show. Dave quickly became highly visible to the Hollywood elite as one of the most sought-after TV music writers for more than 20 television shows. After many years of working in television, Dave connected with his friend Larry Rosen in New York to form GRP Records, which became the best-selling jazz label for 5 consecutive years. GRP's groundbreaking work in sound design and digital recording completely transformed the music industry. Dave's hit song Mountain Dance broke jazz sales records, and GRP as a label was nominated for 80 Grammy Awards. Dave also became a first-call arranger and performer on numerous pop projects. Artists like Barbra Streisand, Billy Joel, James Taylor, Paul Simon, and Quincy Jones were only a few who called on Dave to do arrangements for their albums. He also performed in concert and toured the world as part of the GRP All-Stars. After that, Dave reinvented himself once again, shifting his focus to film scoring and other creative projects. Dave's most notable film scores include On Golden Pond, The Fabulous Baker Boys, Tootsie, Heaven Can Wait, The Champ, and The Firm. Along the way, he was nominated for 8 Oscars and eventually won for the Milagro Beanfield War. It is my honor to introduce 2021 Governor's Award for Excellence in the Arts recipient, Dave Grusin.
Okay, since we talked about the Milagro, New Mexico connection, here's a little piece from that particular film. And I just ask you please to indulge me and try to think of this as a guitar piece, even though I'm playing it on piano. Thank you. I grew up in a small town, kind of a cow town in Colorado. And like all of my buddies, I just figured I was going to be a rancher or a veterinarian or something to do with animals. And one day I started thinking about my dad, who had come from Europe and was an amazing musician. And I thought, wait a minute, maybe instead of agriculture, I ought to think about music just as a treat for him. Not that he put any pressure on me to do that. But that's when I decided to study music at the University of Colorado. So that's the beginning, and I'd say the early 60s is when I finally became pretty sure that's what I was going to do for a living. Okay, if you can imagine a sheet of music with nothing on it, that's how we start. You have to have an idea or a motif of some kind, and if it's a film score, hopefully the story or what it looks like will inspire some place to start. You have to never forget what you're doing this for. You're supporting a scene, or you're supporting an emotion that you need to generate for the film. And hopefully you'll come up with something original that you're not lifting from somebody else that you hear. But I've worked on so many different kinds of projects and so many different genres of film that I don't know if I even have a style of my own. And some people tell me they can recognize my music, but I'm not sure what they're listening to.
Where do you keep your Oscar?
It's in our bathroom, and I'll bring it out. I'll show it to you. It's the only one I've ever won, and I'll tell you, the satisfying thing about it is the music itself has to do with where we live, how we got here, and just some other kind of sociological aspects about it. It's a New Mexico award. If you keep the love of what you're doing in your mind and in your heart, everything will work out for you. That's the best thing you can do to make a living is make a living doing what you love. So that's my my old person's advice here. First of all, I am knocked out amazed to get this award, and I am overwhelmed when I look at the history of who've received these awards. And I'm so grateful, particularly to Governor Bill Richardson and Barbara, his wife, for this nomination. I don't know how else to say this. Michelle, I'm so pleased and grateful for this. Thank you so much for this. This is a glorious event for me in my life.